Good afternoon. And how are we today? This is the THC Show with Neil Magnuson and myself. And I'm stepping in today for Neil as he's not feeling too well. Off the top, I just want to send out all positive thoughts and energy toward him. Maybe you want to get your higher powers to do that for him too. Send him as much energy and positive thoughts as you can, and we'll wish him all well and hope to see him soon. I'm going to do a little bit of sharing here for a minute, and because I'm a one-man show now. So give me 1 second while I just share this onto my own page and get people watching us. All right, here we go. All right, come on. All right, where is it? Now I can't even share it. Oh, there it is. Oh, shut the hell. Page and get people. Wow, I don't even have it. It's not sharing for some strange reason. Oh, jeez. All right, we'll just do it this way. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna have to change my page. Trials and tribulations of having this. So this is the THC Show, truth, hope, and change. And with that, we are hoping to change the way that the government has its legalization. The truth is that we can get people off hold on. We can get people off opioid dependency with 1 week of high-dose edibles. Yes, just 1 week, which is amazing. And it's surprisingly that the government doesn't support us doing this. It's ridiculous. Can you imagine how many people's lives we could change if the government would just allow high-dose edibles as a way of getting off of opioids. Opioids, yes. Just doing two things at the same time here. So, it's crazy that share to a page. All right, there we go. And then we're going to do this. And we're going to switch that. All right. And then, no, we don't want to do it. Okay, we'll just do that. All right. And then we go back. Undo. All right. Oh my God, this is just not working the way I want it to work. It's not like I usually do it, right? So there we go. No, we're just gonna post. See, I gotta switch profiles each time here. That sucks. All right, there we go. All right, I think I'm done. All right. So also we want hope. Hope is part of change. Let's see here. Oh God, man. This is so strange having to do this. There we go. All right. Okay. We're all done. All done the sharing. We hope that the government will change their views and come down here. We'll send somebody down here to find out after the 7+ years that we have that high-dose edibles work for opioids. Hey, Mr. Wells. Hey, Douglas, Jamie, and Jesse. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We're going to hope that Neil gets better soon. We all know that he's got problems with his throat. Like I said, we hope that things get better for him. We are down here on the downtown east side providing high-dose edibles to people who can't afford it and to people who don't have enough money to buy the government's weed. The government's weed doesn't do any good for people that are down here that are high on heroin and speed and crack and fentanyl. The high-dose edibles seems to be working for them. We've got 4 years of being down here, 7 years from the Vandu, of people coming us and telling us, thank you for changing my life, for saving my life. We've got so many stories. At 4:20, we're going to bring in one of the staff members, and they will bring in, tell you guys some positive stories about what goes on down here at the CSP. I'm getting a little warm, so just don't mind why I take my clothes off. So we're going to lift your spirits at 4:20 and just share with you the things that we can get done down here. And if you do the same thing, it would help out a lot. Like we've got Newton, we've got Surrey, we've got the East Coast. Thank you, Chris. We've got London, we've got Ottawa, I believe. I believe there's even one in Sudbury, and Surrey, and whatchamacallit, Newton. No, Langley. That's it, and in Langley. So we're having a little problem here with the feed. How's the feed on that side there? Change the government's view on cannabis. All right. No, it says waiting for live signal.
It would try and reconnect, but it popped out right immediately.
Oh, really? All right. Are we back? Are we on? Yeah.
I tried to reconnect, but it did it immediately and then popped right back out.
All right. The guy passed away. Oh, wow, that's sad. Yeah. So we're hoping that. I'm getting lost here, and this is the first time I've done this a live show like for a whole hour, so just be patient with me. We're hoping that we can change the government's mind because we could save people's lives. With fentanyl and the hard drugs, people have problems getting off of them. They relapse. With the high dose edibles, that ain't gonna happen. And if with every relapse, it takes a chance. That person is taking a chance of dying or from overdosing from the fentanyl or something like that. So if they were on the 1 week worth of edibles, they would not have to worry about that because they would not be relapsing. They would not have the urge to go and use again. The edibles are making them sleep. They are waking up hungry. They want to eat. They eat some more food and eat some edibles and live their day, do some stuff, and go back to sleep again. 1 week later, they're clean. And it's amazing. It's so amazing to see their smiling faces and stuff when they come to the window and they ask for their stuff. Another one. Is it doing it again? Nope. All right. Well, it is on my side. It's good. Thank you, Linda. So we want to be able to save more lives, whereas the government does not want to. It doesn't want to help us. It doesn't want to support us. It could even support us with the legal weed that they burn when they don't sell it. You know, like there's a lot of things that the government could do. Okay, waiting for a live signal again. Oh, wow. I hope this is working for you guys. Yeah, it is still on their side. All right. Okay, no problem. Anyways, yeah. So we hope that we can do that, and let's show the government that we can save people's lives. Like, why is it not important that we want to save people's lives? It's we should be voting people in who care about us and not care about money.
Slow connection.
So that's normal. That's because of the Werner Empire thing.
Yeah,
so that happens, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah. So, did I share it onto my page? All right. Okay, so we talked about hope and we talked about change. All right, yeah, we're on there. Neil and his crew have been down here on the downtown east side for 7 years now, George. 7+ years. 7+ years. Oh yeah, somebody said smoke a joint before I start the show, so thanks, George. 7+ years. We've gone with the Holy Rollers. We've done, handed out so many packages, probably millions of packages. Vandu.
Years of Vandu. Right?
Yeah, it's amazing how many people we have helped down here, and how it is also amazing how ignorant the government has been. You know, like we voted those people in. I don't know if it was your vote that did it or your neighbor's vote that put them in power, but we need to all to get together and vote these guys out and get some change. Now, I don't know if Pierre Poilievre is going to be doing any change, to that side, because we have not seen his platform yet or anything. So we can only hope and pray, but, there's got to be something better than Mr. Trudeau, and I hope so. I know we have another year and a bit of him unless we get a non-confidence vote after this budget, which there always is a confidence vote after a budget. So hopefully they'll take him down. Now, we got 4 more days until 420. I put 5. I meant 4. 4 more days till 420. And what we're trying to do is, if you remember the old smokeouts at the art gallery, where we had no booths, but we had people walking around selling grams and joints and cookies and edibles and mushrooms and stuff like that. We don't mind if you're going to be doing that this year, but we want to do the old smokeout. Let's close down the streets like we used to with just the crowds of people. And at 420, we're going to light them all up and smoke out the city. Let's do that again. It was so cool to do that. We're going to have Dan Heisenberg providing some music and entertainment for us. We're going to have other people there. We're going to have speeches. We're just going to get together and get stoned. Bring your bongs, bring your rigs, bring your joints, bring your edibles, bring your mushrooms, bring whatever you want. Just come on down and let's smoke out the art gallery. And it'll all be because of you guys participating and helping out. Which would be awesome. Here, George, you want your joint back? I know. Well, you get talking and you forget about it, right? So, all right, we got 6 more minutes. Yeah, we've got Adam from the Mad Hatter coming in at 420, and he's going to tell us some stories of what Adam actually works in the van. He works in the RV with everybody, and you're going to go get him? All right. While he does that, we'll put this back up, and maybe we'll do some more sharing while I'm here. Anyway, it's good. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. That's sad. Wow. Thank you, Linda. All right. Okay. So, Neil. Neil has cancer in his throat. And it's been really hard for him to swallow things. He's been surviving on Boost and smoothies and stuff like that. You know that because he's talked about it here on the show and stuff like that. But he's now in the hospital. Last week, you may have heard him upstairs coughing and stuff like that. He went into the hospital shortly after I finished that show. And he's been at the hospital ever since. So they have him on an IV now, and he's been having some back problems. So they've been giving him something for pain. They're giving him ice chips and stuff like that. And what they would like to do is put in a feeding tube for him, which will probably happen shortly. So he's also going to get some radiation done on his throat, which is not going to be good for his singing or talking. So that's going to be my responsibility here. I don't know about so much the singing, but as towards the show, I'm here to keep it running and keep it going until he's back. And we're down here with the CSP. We're not stopping. We're going to still be down here helping people out. My part now is to go out and pick up donations and stuff for the CSP and bring them here while Neil is incapacitated and stuck in the hospital. So, yeah, it's great that we're able to do this and have all the support of the staff here and stuff like that, doing their job every day. Hey, come on down from 11 o'clock until 7. We're at Main and Cordova, right on the corner in the RV in front of the store. Yeah, we've got lots of good stuff. $6 grams. We've got shatter. We've got distillate. We've got all kinds of stuff. And it's all at low price because down here, people don't have money. And if you don't have money, that's okay too, because we'll give you a free joint or an edible. You only get one in a day, you only get one or the other, but we understand where we are and we want to help you start a better life, and we will definitely do that. Hi Jan, how you doing? Yeah, thank you very much everybody for supporting and coming in and saying hi. Can you please share this out for me, because obviously I can't do it while I'm live. I can, but it would be very rude because I wouldn't be able to talk to you and do it at the same time. So if you guys could share it out. I've done a couple of sharings. Maybe I'll do a couple more here. Oh no, I'm on the wrong page. Can't do that. I'll have to share it out afterwards. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching it and helping me out here as much as I can. So we have, what time is it? 4:15. We got 5 more minutes to 4. Oh, my watch just went to power saving mode. The things are just happening all over the place. So we're going to have Adam, the Mad Hatter, join us in a few minutes for 420. I've got my joint ready. Actually, I've got my Puffco. Now, this is the new Puffco Proxy. Yeah? That is cool, eh? Yeah. That is nice. And I like it because it's the... it's the pipe, right? It's like, oh yeah. You could be sitting at a stoplight going like this and nobody will ever never know, right? Well, I guess maybe a couple might wonder why it was like this. But anyways, we got some shatter here. I was going to ask George if we had anything really, really nice, but I forgot to ask him that. So I did bring some shatter today.
Probably some Dragon's Blood.
Oh yeah, that Dragon's Blood is a sativa, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I believe it's a sativa, so I'm not much into that. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to take this, and we're going to throw it in the top here, and then we're going to throw this lid on. Now, usually right here, there's a plastic piece. It is small. I've lost it already, but I found out that the splattering from underneath of it clogs it. So I'm really happy that it's not there anymore. I can actually just use my thumb or finger as a carb. And actually this thumb is just great for that. It works out just fine like that. So this is the new Puffco Proxy. You can find this Puffco Proxy at Canadian Vaporizers. They're a Vancouver company. They're online, so just check them out. Just type in Canadian Vaporizers. They're excellent people. They have all kinds of stuff, but they helped me get my Puffco Proxy, and I thank them very much for this. I also have the Ripple, which is I didn't bring it with me today, but it's the shape of an apple. You just take this out. You put this inside the Ripple, and then you've got another device. So it's really cool. All right, almost 420. We got that loaded. We got Adam standing by. What else can I talk about? We've got a lot of people coming in all over the city. We've got many events. We've got Dana Larson at all three of his stores will be giving out clones. So if you need a clone and you want some plants to grow, which you can grow for here in British Columbia of your own, on your own property, that's only 4 per house, not 4 per person. So you can have 4 plants. So bring 4 people and you get 4 clones, you get 4 plants. But yeah, check out Dana Larson's stores, the Mushroom Dispensaries, the Coca Cafe. They will be giving out clones. We're also going to be at the art gallery, which I mentioned, and we would like to have a really, really, really big smoke out. So only you can help us do that. So please come on down Saturday. It's going to be nice until the evening anyway. As they say, this might rain in the evening. So come down and help us out with that. There's also a 419 event happening. I don't know where, but it's probably online. There's also a 420 in a building somewhere. Do you know where the 420 is? Center?
43rd and Main.
43rd and Main. So there we go. Those are the events that are out there today or on Saturday. So we have, looks like 4 or 5 different events that you guys can go to. You can all choose. Maybe you want to do all of them. Maybe you want to hit up an Uber and taxi all around Vancouver at the events. I do believe there probably is some general admission left for the other one. Oh, it's 419. 1 minute to go. Roll them if you got them. Because we're going to get stoned, medicated, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do it. And hopefully you're going to join us. I've got some Death Bubba here and some shatter, which is some Sunny D shatter. Also, the Sunny D shatter is in the Puffco. So we're all ready. You want to come on in, Adam?
Guess I'll just slide.
Yeah, just slide. Okay, actually,
yeah.
I'm going to move the camera. Yeah, so you slide in there, and we'll get this moved over a little bit so we can get you in there.
All right.
You and I, there we go. All right.
Oh,
thank you very much for joining me on my very first show.
Perfect.
Yeah, sitting in for Neil. Adam is one of the people that works here every day.
No, I'm here 3 or 4 times a week.
3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
So 3 or 4 times out of 7 days, Adam is here, sitting in the window at the RV. So if you come down, you can actually...
Mind you, Adam's down here about 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Between bringing product and stuff like that for
the CSP.
For the CSP.
Yeah. But, okay, so 3 of the 4 days, you'll find him sitting at a window. So if you come on down, you can also say hi to Adam, too. But Adam's here. I've invited him here to tell us some stories, some positive stories of what he's heard from people that he's helped. or even he can tell us a story how it's made him feel. All right?
Yeah, actually, I think first I probably want to tell a story about Neil.
Okay, sure. Go ahead, I'm going to light up.
Yeah. Yesterday I went and seen him, and it was tough on me. He could tell.
You was tough on all of us.
And there was a couple of times where he said to me, he says, "It's okay, don't worry, I'm good."
Yeah.
And then so when I went to go leave, he looked at me and with the most sincere look on his face, he said, "Thank you. Thank you so much for what you do."
Yeah, he's thanked me several times. Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, "We do it because nobody else does, right?"
Yeah.
Because, I donated for probably about 5 years now or so, but it's been about 2 years that I've actually been working here. And one of the first days that I actually worked here, it was just me and him in the shop, and I said to him, I said, "You're clearly a very intelligent man. Very, very well spoken." I said, "You could be making a lot of money doing anything else."
Yeah.
And I said, "Why exactly do you do this?" And he looked at me with no hesitation. He said, "Who else is doing it?"
Yeah.
And it went silent for about a minute, and it really, really clicked into me.
Because nobody else is doing it.
Yeah, and so when I went to go leave after he said thank you, and he just had that sincerity in his eyes, I looked at him and I said, "Don't worry." I said, we're doing this because nobody else is doing it. I said, and you can count on us.
We care about the human species, right?
Absolutely.
We care about human beings, right?
Yeah. I mean, the cannabis community as a whole, I find,
is on board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And we thank you very much for all your donations. We thank you to everyone who makes those special donations where we're not allowed to say the person's name, but we thank you very much for this, because without your donations and without your participations of people coming to the RV, the CSP would not be here. We would not be saving hundreds of people's lives every day.
Yeah.
Right? And it's hundreds, isn't it?
Oh, I would say so, for sure. Over the course of the 7 years, I mean, it's probably been a lot more.
How many people do you think you see in a day?
Oh, on any regular day, probably 500.
On a welfare day.
And then on a welfare day, you're probably looking about 1,000, 1,200 people.
Wow, eh?
Yeah. And I mean, that. And a lot of these people that we see every day, because, we sell the 5 grams for $5.
Yep.
But everybody just gets one per day, because, I mean, it's incredibly difficult to source that much material at that price.
Yeah.
And
then that's really only for the people who don't smoke very much, right? Mm-hmm. They're on the high dose, they're on fentanyl and stuff like that. They come here and they get that, and it helps them go to sleep. And
absolutely, how many people I've talked to over the course of, I probably at least 5 or 10 a day look at us and say thank you.
Yeah.
For what you do. I don't know what I would do. I've had tons of people, hundreds of people tell me that if we weren't here doing what we do, they would have to go back to fentanyl or something to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And, it's a really, really good feeling. I used to tell people all the time, when I talked about donating to Neil and the CSP, they used to make such a big deal about it. And I never really did. I was like, you know what? I'm like, it's cool. Like,
big deal in a positive way or a negative way?
No, in a positive way. About donating a product to them and stuff like that. But I always used to tell them, like, it's cool that I give them some stuff to give away. I said, but, the real people are the angels that are working in there.
Yeah.
That deal with these people every day.
They're here every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I
Dexter,
I never
George,
once thought that
Dave.
I never once thought that I would have such a connection with a lot of these people.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people we see every day. So even if we talk to them for 5 minutes a day, there's been a lot where you actually want to get out of the van and say, hey, you take over for a minute. You need to go and talk to this person. A lot of these people. Sometimes you just need somebody to listen.
That's what I was about to say. They just need an ear. And it's sometimes hard because you're busy with other people and you've heard so many stories in a day. And if you're not having such a good day, something's happened, it's really hard sometimes to do that. And it's really, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a word, but it's really admirable that you guys do this every day. You listen to those stories. You talk to the people. You treat them as they are a human being.
Absolutely.
Each person, right?
It's separately. It's been crazy to see just how many people have been that statistic of getting hurt at work and being put on opioids and then just cut off really quick and they wonder why people
ruin their lives.
It's I always knew that was a thing. I've read enough to know that that's obviously a thing, but I didn't realize just how many. There's a lot of most of these people down here are amazing people.
Yeah. They
just got put on the wrong path, and a lot of the time it's because of society and the way we work.
Yeah.
And I can tell, not only is it it gets embarrassing for them, but you get so much anxiety when it comes to that.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And that in itself is a dangerous thing to try and go head on.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always known, ever since I was probably like, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old, I've always known cannabis. I grew up in a family where anger was a thing a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and so I always knew that it was something that just leveled me out.
Yep.
You know,
It's
like
same
it
thing
get me
here.
back,
Yeah.
get me back on the track that I need to be on. And then I worked on the garbage truck for 12 and a half years, and I smoked a big joint or did a dab or whatever the case may be before I started every load.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of weed I smoke. If I'm super dead tired at the end of the day, go home, gotta clean the house.
Joint
That's what I do.
house.
I join
Yeah.
will get me moving again.
Yeah.
You know, everybody says that,
I'll do wake and bake and then clean the house.
yeah, everybody says, oh, cannabis gets you lazy. I'm like, no, it
Only
doesn't.
if you let it.
Exactly.
You have to show your body that you can get past this. You have to get your
Absolutely.
mind past this. Once you do that, then yeah, you can. Like 43 years I've been smoking.
Yeah.
I'm not lazy. I'm sitting here every week and out
Yeah.
there and helping the CSP and whatever I can to help people. So
Yeah.
definitely not lazy, right? But
Yeah, me either.
there
I mean,
will
I've
be
got-
people that be that because of the opposite, right?
If they let it happen, it
Yeah.
can. But it's the same thing with any substance nowadays. I mean,
Alcohol, can be
oh,
the same
yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
Make you lazy, right?
I find alcohol to be so detrimental to society. And, like I haven't had a drink in 6 years. Not because I thought I had
Is
a
that
problem or
cannabis
anything.
helping you not drink?
It was never really a vice for me. Like
Okay,
I would
well,
go and tie one off with the boys and stuff like that back in the day. But
because some people would drink and then they start doing crack. Some people drink and start doing
and
other
that-
things that they don't normally
well,
do.
I've
Right?
definitely, like when I was drinking, it definitely did lead to other substances.
It did,
and
yeah.
like the much detrimental.
Yeah.
See, I know a lot of guys.
I haven't done crack since I was 37 years old. Now I'm now 59, so that's 22 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think it was 35 or 37 was the last time I did it.
Cocaine
so.
was my vice for a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah.
And it's been about
Somebody taught me how to cook.
Oh, yeah.
And then once
Yeah.
they taught me how to cook, then people would come to me with their powder and say, "Can you cook this for me? Here's something for cooking it for me." Right?
Exactly.
So I didn't have to really pay for
Taking
it
a
a lot,
toll.
right? But I was able to do the drug, right?
Yeah.
And 10 years of that.
Yeah.
10 years, right? So
Yeah, and it's so easy that it gets a hold of you.
yeah.
It's so easy. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, even the cocaine, it was probably 10 years, too.
Oh,
Yeah. And it's been 4.5 years
Thank you,
now.
cannabis, because this is what's kept me clean.
Right.
20.
Absolutely.
I've been smoking since I was 16, so I got 43 years now of smoking cannabis. I was even smoking cannabis on the crack days because it would bring me down at the end of the day.
Yeah, for
it would
sure.
help
That'd
me.
be-
Like I would smoke 3 or 4 joints in a row.
Yeah.
just to
But then
level
but
me
then you
out.
get,
right?
Yeah, then you get to the point where you could probably fall asleep.
Yeah, and that's what I had to do. And even if it was bottom of the bag stuff, which I had a lot of because I wasn't having very much money because I was dealing, smoking crack, right? So
Yeah, that's a bad
it's
one,
crazy, right? So bottom of the bag stuff, 4 or 5 joints at the end of your 3-day binge or 2-day binge.
Yeah.
I think the biggest binge I did was 7 days. I just fell asleep right at the table, boom, just like that, just gone, right?
Yeah, it gets
It's
pretty
bad,
Yeah.
and I'm thankful that I've got cannabis now, and I'm thankful for the
Absolutely, on the up and up.
PTSD, psychiatric help I got, and everything else like that. So it's kept me clean, and it is who I am today, right? So
Yeah, I mean that's always a good thing.
yeah, and that's what we're trying to do down here: get people off these hard drugs.
And I think we succeed a lot more times than people.
Imagine if you weren't here.
Well,
right?
yeah,
right. How many more people would be dying, right? I think if Neil didn't have this program down here, the numbers would probably be way up.
The way I look at it is, even if we don't get everyone off of it, even if we don't do that, which you have to be realistic.
We can't because there's opposites to everything, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
But I find that the way I look at it, I'm like, even if we give somebody an edible and they skip that fix, that's one less fix that they can die from.
Yep.
I mean, it's just that simple. Like 2 or 3.
It's that simple, yeah.
2 or 3 grains of salt. Like it's as easy as people not cleaning their scales nowadays.
Imagine how many loved ones we could save of theirs out there.
It would be
right. I was just saying at the beginning of the show, the truth is that 1 week of high-dose edibles can get you off of opioid dependency.
It gets you through that first.
And if you can get on those, you're not going to relapse.
Yeah.
Because you're on your 1 week of edibles. So if you're not relapsing, you're not taking a chance of killing yourself by doing another whack, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what's really dangerous is when they go off of it
and
for
then
a little
they come
bit,
back,
and then they come back thinking, oh, okay, well, this was my fixed size last time.
Yeah.
And then they're gone.
They're gone, exactly, right?
You know?
And relapse is part of recovery most of the time,
Yeah.
right? But we found out with high-dose edibles, they don't go there, right? They're happy, the edibles keep them happy, and they feel good, and they just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've seen the happy faces. I did that video, Happy Faces, right? Just people saying thank you for their cannabis and stuff like that.
Such a good feeling.
Oh, it is.
Like I said, I always thought, it was always kind of a good feeling to me, and people made it a big deal about me donating for the first 2.5 years or whatever. But it wasn't really until I came down here and started working and started seeing these things.
Because here, if you're outside of it, it's just a donation.
Yeah.
But if you're down here, you see the faces and you hear the stories.
Well, I didn't even stay down here most of the time. I come and bring them a box, and then
That's
I'm
it.
out of here. It wasn't until the last raid.
Yeah.
And because I got raided just before that, actually. And I came down here. I seen it at like 10 o'clock at night from that day. And then, by 9:30 the next morning, I was here with a big box of shit for him. I'm here for you. And he said, why don't you stick around and, help us set up at the tent outside.
Yeah.
And I got to watch the perseverance and that.
After being raided, we were in the tent.
You can't keep that guy down.
Nope. No, he's a lucky man.
Yeah.
And that's why he's going to pull through. He says, I'm going to be lucky to pull through.
And he was eating today.
Jello.
Peaches and Jello.
Jello, yes.
And peaches.
Yeah, they gave him some Jello and I think some peaches there. Peach juice. It was peach juice.
She said that he was eating peaches.
Oh, I don't know if he was, but I was there. But
either way, that's huge.
Yeah, Jello was going up, but he still had he choked on the Jello a little bit too, so it's really hard for him to swallow stuff.
Yeah,
the ice chips seem to be doing the best, and they've got him on the IV and stuff like that.
Well, I think they're gonna give him a feeding tube
tomorrow. Yeah, but he said that they will have to move him to St. Paul's or something. I think.
Yeah, I heard that
to do that, right? Because they can't do that operation there. So we'll have to see. We were thinking that he would already be at St. Paul's since he's been there over a week already.
So he called and asked me to come and see him yesterday, and so I said, yeah. So the one thing, I'm pretty good at multitasking. Yeah. I've done call center work and stuff like that. I'm pretty good at multitasking. But the one thing is that when I think that I know something, I tend to skim messages.
Okay. I sent you messages.
I know, right? It's as bad as one time I was supposed to go do an event with my company. Yeah. In Penticton. Yeah. And I did that, and I skimmed the messages.
And you missed it.
And I ended up in Pemberton. I thought it was. Oh man! So now I'm like, I've already drove 3 hours in the completely wrong direction. Oh shit! But this is why I say that happens, right? But yesterday, I was under the impression that he was at St. Paul's because that's what I heard last. Yeah. So I just drove to St. Paul's. And I found parking. It took me almost 20 minutes to find parking.
He wasn't there.
And then I get out of the truck and I'm just walking down the stairs of this little parking place. And he sends me a text. He says, "Are you on track?" So just as just to be a little bit of a smart ass, I sent him a text back. I said, "Absolutely on track." I said, "But probably on the wrong train." And then so I close out the message, or I close out the call, and his messages come up, and I realize he's giving me where he is, right? The address, and it says Mount St. Joseph. I said, holy fuck, he's gonna find this so hilarious. So I called him right away. I said, hey, remember when I told you I was on the wrong train? Oh yeah, I was on the wrong train this time. He got a pretty good kick out of that, Yeah. I tell you, he's still got his wits about him, though.
Oh yeah, you'll never. Yeah. He's still there.
Oh yeah,
he's all there. He's all there, right? So we're just, like I said at the beginning of the show, ask your higher power to send him some positive thoughts and energy. Do what you can. Do a power hum. I don't know. Whatever you do, whatever you can, spread the word. Let's help this man make it through this, because He's very, very important to a lot of people.
For sure,
And me. It's going to be really hard if we lose him.
I had a hard time yesterday.
I've been having a hard time sleeping at night thinking that, hey, am I going to wake up to a message, you know? Like,
Today's news sounded good, though.
Yeah. Today's news is good. Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Yeah.
But have you seen him today?
No, not today.
He has pneumonia now. So they have him on oxygen.
Well, they had him on oxygen last night when I went there.
Maybe
I brought George there last night.
Okay, so they probably had pneumonia yesterday, so they've diagnosed him with some pneumonia now. So.
Holy fuck, eh?
And that was the wheezing that he had going on.
That's why he was saying that last night.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So,
jeez.
Yeah, so that's...
they're
working on that.
They say that the higher power only gives the ones that are strong enough to take that kind of stuff.
And he's definitely strong enough.
Oh,
jeez, man.
I feel like he's gonna outlive us all.
You know what I noticed today is that today is my first show sitting in for Neil while he heals, but it's also Greg Williams' birthday today. So we happy heavenly birthday to Greg, part of Pot TV. And I'd like to thank Pot TV and Cannabis Culture for me to be able to be here amongst those greats like Greg and Jody and everybody else that have been on there.
I've noticed that too. Lately I've been finding myself hanging around with people that I would have never
known before.
Yeah, or dreamed of even knowing. Like going to the 420 rallies and stuff like that for the past. I've been in BC for 15 years now. Yeah. So and I went every year, like pretty much all the events, and it's really cool to now actually be a part of it,
it's different when you're just in the crowd, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That's what I used to say is I used to go to these smokeouts that we're trying to do on Saturday, and I would see Neil singing. I never think that I was going to be his friend and on his show and have a great friendship with that gentleman many, many, many years later, and here it is, right?
Absolutely.
How things come around like that, right?
He's been a big part of my life over the past 5 years.
And like many, many years ago, I had Angel cards read, and I had a very strange rare number, which meant that I had karmic debt, and I had to do a lot of good stuff, and I was like, holy fuck, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do?
This during the crack time?
No. This was in about probably the early 2000s or something. Okay. So it just came about that legalization came. I was able to do legalization,
monopolization.
Right? So I was able to do videos now and show people that cannabis wasn't as bad as the government said.
Yeah,
right? And in the community and doing this, it's allowed me to, whatever karmic debt I occurred in a past life, to be able to pay some of it back, right?
Yeah, and that's a good feeling that in itself.
Yeah, because I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Right? It was a past life.
That's
right?
Yeah, but I feel like that's not a good thing to have.
Karma just put it in my lap. I didn't have to really think about what I needed to do. It showed me. Right? And
it's crazy how that
gave
happens.
you the opportunity. Yeah.
I worked really hard for a long time, but I was always like, I was always on the receiving end of people's giving.
Yeah.
And now, like I said,
nice.
it's been 5 years that I've been in business, and I've given away a lot of product, just to people that I think need it, and it feels good to be on the other side of it.
It does, and it doesn't. It comes back to you. It doesn't have to come back to you that next hour or that next day. It could be 5 years down the road, but it does come back to you, right? I always finish my videos like I'll do today. Go out and do something nice for someone today. They'll do something nice for someone else, and we all have a better world to live in. And that's all we need to do is just try to be nice. It could be as easy as holding the door open for somebody, right? Or pushing the button so they could cross the street.
Or paying it forward.
Right? If we all did that, how much more of the world would be a better place? Just it's crazy.
It's funny how something so small could be so huge at the same time.
Because it gathers speed or gathers momentum. Right.
Kind of like a snowball.
Yeah. It's just just like the wave at the hockey game, right? We all
get so big,
we get the whole thing, the whole place is going, right? It's amazing, right? I'm not a very religious person, but I'm what I identify as a humanist. I believe in you, me, and my fellow neighbor and man, right? Or a woman, or a lady, or a person, whatever, right?
It's kind of like the Rastafarians. They don't say you and I.
Yeah.
We are I and I.
It's I and I. Yeah. Because in my view, I actually see people making a difference. If there's an earthquake, punch people from all over the world get together and go and help out the people and dig out people.
Yeah.
If there's a tidal wave, a tsunami, or anything like forest fires, hydro wires being frozen and stuff like that, humans get together and they go and help, right?
Yeah.
Nobody told them to do this, right? They just go and do it. That's why I believe in something I can see.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good way to
That's
put
something
it.
that I can actually see and believe.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It really is. It makes my heart swell when I see people
Even
doing
down
good
here,
things.
the crazy thing is that like people they look at the homeless like they're they'll take everything they can get, and they're very like, it's not even like that.
No,
these people
they're
down
taking
here,
everything they can get because they don't have anything.
yes, but at the
Right?
same time, if the person next to them doesn't have a shirt, they're the they're the first kind of people to give back to the
I don't know if those videos were staged, but we've seen videos in the States where people, homeless people, have been given a bunch of money, and then that homeless person will go and give another homeless person some of that money, right? So because they understand, right?
Well,
they're on the spot, they know, right? They're in it, right?
They were doing a study here in Vancouver that they gave a bunch of money to a bunch of homeless people, and they wanted to watch them for about a year, and they said a lot of them actually did good things with their lives. And that's really cool to hear.
Yeah, because you just have to give them the opportunity, right?
Yeah, even the one guy,
like the government could give them the opportunity of getting off opioids with 1 week of high dose edibles instead of running through treatment centers and not having it work, and then going back out and taking another chance at getting high again, right? So
yeah, I mean, it's beyond me how they can let this happen.
But they don't
because
care.
we've proven it.
Well, we're a business, okay? I believe that the government looks at us not as human beings, but as a business. How much money we can spend, how much taxes we can pay, right? Let's promote alcohol and tobacco, because of the CPP that you pay for working. They would get it. If they get to keep it if you die before 65. Your family doesn't get that CPP that you all worked for, right?
Yeah.
So they get to keep it. So let's tell you, they keep it. Oh yeah, it doesn't go back to your family.
Hey, that's pretty sketchy.
So let's tell you to drink and smoke, right? Because smoking gives you cancer.
Well,
right?
they'll give you a deal on
drinking.
2-packs.
You could be driving and drinking. Yeah, they'll give you and bottles too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but if cannabis, let's not do cannabis, because cannabis is going to make you healthy.
Right.
Cannabis is going to help your endocannabinoid system. It's going to help your
That's why
immune
charge
system and your pain, right?
That's why they're going to charge $5,000 a pound for it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
$10 a gram,
because you're going to live longer, and if you live longer, they have to pay you longer.
See, I didn't know that.
Right? The only money that you get as a retirement or one of those retirement plans is if you're in your army. If you're in the army and your spouse dies, the spouse gets their pension.
Okay.
Right? That's the army. I don't know. I guess all the companies do that, but with the government of Canada, nobody gets that CPP. Yeah, it goes right back into their pockets.
Crooks.
I know.
They're crooks on so many different levels.
I know. So that's why they're not helping people live down here.
So what do you think? They probably went through $1 million on our case?
Oh, probably.
Coming after us?
Yeah, and still more to go.
It's still going. Luckily I wasn't one of those people, but I mean, I have sat back and watched. And that's another thing I said to him. So the other night I watched him on a panel, the one with Jack.
Yeah,
and,
that's the one that really did him in.
Yeah, because he did too much in those couple of days. And he even told me that.
Yeah,
exactly.
he told me that too,
Yeah. But just listening to him, it's funny because my man, Dan, Heisenherb.
Yeah.
Shout outs to him. He put up a Facebook status 2 days before that panel came out. And it said, I haven't come this far just to only come this far.
Yeah.
And then Neil said that on the panel. And I was just like, and I sat there and thought about it for a little while, and he said that, a couple days later in the shop too, and I said, that couldn't apply anymore to what he's doing, and I think he just ran himself a little thin because he wanted to make it to this court case with everything that he had, and he genuinely wants us to make change, and he wants
Well, he wants change for everybody.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, especially
you know?
down here, right?
Yeah, down here has got a lot to do with it too.
And-
But it's
and
as a whole, though.
Newton and Langley and
Yeah.
Surrey, they're all making change too.
Halifax,
Halifax,
everywhere.
what is it? Ottawa, Sudbury, London.
Sudbury. See, that's the thing, you know. Like, I come from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.
Yeah, the Sudbury one we're a little bit iffy about. We don't really know too much about it, but
Yeah.
we've been told by Jackie that out there that there is a Sudbury one too, but it doesn't.
I would love for me to be able to talk to somebody back home that could start this and stuff.
Well,
but it is a lot.
Kim Cooper's in town. She's gonna be seeing Neil.
Yeah.
She's the Northern Ontario Kim that you see online.
Oh yeah.
So she
Okay,
has
cool.
a lot
Yeah, she's in North Bay, I think.
So what we've been arranging is that it looks like her and Jeff are going to be getting a hold of me, and we're going to let them sit in the RV for about half an hour and serve people
Nice.
and do a little bit of video and
Nice.
some pictures and stuff like that. They want an experience of it. So,
Yeah.
So I don't know if Jeff will do it, but I know that Kim is very interested in doing that.
Yeah,
so.
that's super cool.
And if she gets into it, then she can tell other people when
Yeah.
she's in Ontario. And she knows a lot of people.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We're just hoping that
it'll
be a good start, right?
Us and Sault Ste. Marie are way the hell up there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Thunder Bay can use it. Sault Ste. Marie can
Thunder
use
Bay
it.
could definitely use it.
Yeah.
The Sioux, like, I went back 5 years ago for my mom's funeral, and I tell you, it was bad.
It was bad there.
Like,
yeah.
I actually heard about fentanyl there before I heard about it here.
Really?
I went there for a trip. So, like I said, I've been here for 15 years, and probably a year and a half later, I went back there for a trip, and I heard about it then. And they were stealing they're stealing used patches from the pharmacies, breaking in, because they were extracting it out of the patches.
Okay.
But the little towns, the small cities in the middle of nowhere, that's what's getting hurt.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's getting hit really bad. You know, and obviously down here it's
bad.
It's a new ball game every day.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's what people say it is violence wise, because I mean, I feel like I would feel much more safe walking through the downtown east side at night than I would back in Sault Ste. Marie.
Really, eh?
Because that's the thing, you know, if there is violence around here, it's between the people that are down here.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not getting random beatings or anything like that. Like, but I mean, the drug use is rampant, rampant, like right out in the open, and.
Yeah, I know. It's right on the corner. You can even buy it right on the corner. You get pills, whatever you want, just right on the corner.
Well, and it's like, it's weird that you get so desensitized, because I mean, there are people that, you know, you walk by them and you got to give them a little, hey, you all right?
Well, actually,
kind of
a couple of days last week, I drove by the one at the corner of the Owl Pharmacy, and boy, they were smoking some dank stuff. It came in through the window of my car. I was like, man, I wish I could have just pulled over and said, hey, man, what the fuck is that shit? I hadn't smoked anything or smelled anything like that in a long time. You know, that really pungent heavy smell, right?
Yeah.
Wow, it was really good. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if they were selling that or that was just his personal or whatever.
Are you talking about on the RBC side?
No, the Owl
Pharmacy
Pharmacy side, yeah.
Yeah.
That somebody there had something that's really fucking smelled good.
We're so blessed here in BC when it comes to, you know, like, you know, growing up, it was hash oil for me in Northern Ontario.
Yeah,
and then
it was hash.
Yeah,
hash oil. Yeah,
hash oil. Yeah, like the old dark oil. And then
we used to get a lot of hash from Montreal, Gold Seal, Red Wrap, and Temple Balls and stuff like that. So in Toronto, I sold a lot of hash.
Yeah,
young in college, that's where I spent 8 years selling hash. 10 or $15 a gram, 2 for $25.
Yeah,
acid was $5 a hit or 5 for $20.
Acid, that's the weirdest thing about it. Drugs is the fact that acid has never really changed price.
No.
Acid. Anytime I've heard of acid, it's been
$5 a hit or 5 for $20.
Yeah. That's funny. It's funny how like everything else seems to fluctuate.
I got a story about some microdots, some orange microdots that I sold, and this guy bought 50 of them.
Oh yeah.
He put them in his hand.
Never the same again.
I never saw him. Again. He never came back and bought more acid from me, right? But he said, "Don't worry." He says, "I'm used to doing this. I'm going to go home and take some vitamin C." He says, "If you take some vitamin C, it replaces what your body burns." And he says, "You get a much cleaner high." So
really,
yeah. Apparently, when you're doing LSD, it's burning a lot of vitamin C in your body. So if you take the powdered stuff and just take a spoonful of it, it happens to be really good for you. Yeah, I learned that in the 80s.
I don't dabble too often in that because
I guess you could just drink orange juice too, probably. While you're on it, right?
I love orange juice.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that has that much vitamin C in it, but
Orange juice? It depends if you buy good orange juice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's the difference between buying like a 2 liter that's $1 and a 2 liter that's $8.
And so, like Orange Julius is, or no, Sunny D is not orange juice.
Yeah.
Tang is not orange juice.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I don't know. I'm a big pulp guy. I like
the pulp.
Yeah.
So then you know you got orange juice,
right?
Because you got the pulp, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
That's what it is.
I know that it's like the edibles. I find they got to have at least a little bit of taste. Otherwise, the opposite of the placebo.
Yeah, I don't do edibles. I take pills instead.
Yeah.
I'll take the full extract cannabis pill in a little cap.
Yeah.
One at nighttime.
Yeah.
Right, and I go to sleep. I figure if I take sugar, I'm just going to stay awake.
Right. That makes sense.
Right.
Well, it's a good thing Mad Hatter has a full sugar-free line too.
Oh, you do? Yeah,
I do.
You do. So, for anybody who's diabetic,
shameless self-promotion
there
right
you
there,
go.
right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
And for all you diabetic people, and I guess you probably
keto friendly as well,
and gluten free.
Absolutely. Actually,
no meat products.
Yeah.
We can cover.
I don't know. Like, I like my meat.
Here.
I like my meat. Actually, you know what's funny about that is that
I meant in your edibles.
Oh, we actually used to do. I could still do it, special order maybe, but we did infused pepperoni.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah.
Oh,
we smoked it
I
ourselves.
mean, you had the infused.
Freezies?
Yes, thank you very much.
Freezies.
I was trying to think of the name of things, right?
Freezies, hot chocolate. Usually freezies in the summer, hot chocolate in the winter.
Yeah. The freezies go across really well. I still actually have one of your freezies in my freezer.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
the orange
cool.
one. Yeah. Yeah, I just haven't had the opportunity to use it yet.
Yeah, before you put them in the freezer, you got to shake the shit out of them, though.
Do you? Oh, I probably did.
Yeah.
I probably did. I think it's from a couple of 420s.
Yeah, otherwise that
you
first
gave
bite.
it to me. I think at Thornton Park you gave that to me then, so.
Yeah.
Wow, well. Hit it hot! Hit it hot, my friend!
I do want to say one thing, though. There is actually another 420 event going on.
Okay.
A friend, Chelsea, where it's at entertainment, she's doing a 420 boat cruise.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And Dan's doing the music for that.
Dan and Slim will be there.
Do a shout out for it, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'll be set up.
420 friendly?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there'll be smoking and everything?
Yeah.
How much are the tickets?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I paid a vendor's fee so that I can, because I'm going to set up shop too, right? But
So how do they get tickets?
Facebook, where it's at entertainment.
What's it called? Something
where it's at.
Where it's at entertainment. So just look that up, right? Prayers for Neil. Thank you, my friend. So where it's at entertainment.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
She does quite a few boat cruises.
So 420 friendly boat cruise. After 8 o'clock at night, I do believe.
8 till midnight.
8 till midnight.
Yeah.
So, if you want to do a nice cruise on the ocean, have some entertainment.
Yeah, it's going to be old school hip hop style.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Meet Adam and Dan Heisenberg, and his crew will be there. So,
some other CSC people will be there.
Hey, it's always fun to get high on the water.
I tell you, Chelsea's
don't jump in.
Chelsea's boat cruises are always super fun. There's always like
that was the girl that you were talking to that we were thinking about doing this.
Yeah,
remember?
I ended up doing it.
You ended up doing it.
Oh man, that was a busy day.
Well,
I did Thornton Park that day, all day, and then we took some stuff down to the beach.
Yeah.
And in a big cooler and sold a bunch down there, and then we did the boat cruise after that too. And
wow!
Yeah,
wow.
I was just like giving everybody freezies. Everybody's loving life. It was like
nice. Eh?
Yeah, she always puts on the best parties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's a nice starry night and
the
moon will be out.
When
it's not cloudy and rainy.
Actually, that night I was Canada Day is usually a mushroom day for me. I don't know what it is, but so I was like, we gotta grab something. So we grabbed just like, a couple grams of mushroom chocolates from a girl on the beach.
Yeah.
They're apparently 1.1 grams each. So I had like, I don't know, 3/4 of it. The girlfriend had the other quarter. But I tell you, it was at least an eighth trip.
Wow.
I was just like, I have all the beautiful buildings right there in False Creek. I had a great time that night.
Wow, that's nice. It's always nice when you have a great time.
Yeah.
So,
One, I met some super cool people, got to give out some... see, that's just like me. I'm just giving out shit. Here, you look like you need a weed freezy.
I'll give you a confession. I've never tried a Mad Hatter. I've never had one of your edibles or anything.
No,
but again, that's probably because I don't do the candy as much, right?
Yeah.
I have a thing. I do take Steve send me that does some of the donations. He sent me some watermelon edibles.
Yeah.
I don't mind those.
Yeah.
And they're sour, so they're not so sweet. So
I've got some sugar-free hard candy too.
oh, cool.
Like
I know. I got dentures.
Suckers.
Suck it. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. They're sugar-free, right?
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go, sugar
I'm
free.
surprised. I thought I gave you a box of stuff for taking me to the
I've
hockey
only
game
had
that
the
day.
freezies.
Jeez, I'm lacking that. I owe you a box of shit.
Well, it's all right. You don't really owe it.
No, but
but
in my mind, because I thought I gave you one for taking me to the hockey game that night.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, we just went to the hockey game that night.
I'm terrible then.
No, we had.
No, I thought it was
that wasn't me. You have to do that.
No, I know I don't have to, but I definitely want to. You know?
And it was your first game. It was
super
like
cool
to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I like to be able to do it for a lot of people.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah,
it was the three of us.
It was good.
You know?
And now they're the Pacific Division winners.
They're killing it.
Right. And it looks like we're going to be taking on the Predators starting Tuesday.
Yeah.
Nashville. So
Demko should be back soon.
he is back tonight.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Tonight he is back, and then Neil said there's one more game with Winnipeg on Thursday.
Okay.
And then Tuesday we'll start the playoffs with, I believe it's going to be the Predators. That's what they were saying this morning.
Yeah.
Right? But
nice.
they said that because Crosby beaten the Predators, they've now locked up. Vancouver has locked up the first place. But I could be wrong.
Well,
I've been wrong before.
I'm not going to get my
hopes up
too much, but it looks good.
Yeah.
So
we get a nice playoff run.
Yeah.
Let's hope that the city will give us permission to have playoff parties.
Yeah.
Like we did many years ago.
Vancouver is so not fun.
Well,
Vancouver's so not. And you know what?
Well,
now
they're trying to make it fun.
And now with Ken Sims in there, nobody.
We've got that big screen at the stadium that everybody could be standing outside by the Terry Fox statue watching a game.
I haven't been down there in a while.
Yeah, so they've got a big screen there. They could probably do something like that.
Yeah.
Set it up so that
during the Olympics is pretty cool.
If they did several spots, the crowds would be smaller in several spots too. We wouldn't have one big crowd, right?
Right.
So, yeah, maybe do something like Richmond, maybe something in Poco, so that people that are living in that area can get to do their.
Well, it's good for the economy too, you know.
Yeah,
of these smaller. That's like, see, when it comes to the 420 thing, I just don't understand these people. You know, with flights as cheap as going to the East Coast for $200 there and back.
Yeah, can't do that nowadays.
But you can.
Oh, really?
You can.
Where?
This is what I'm saying. There's a bunch of small airlines that'll do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you pay like $130, $150 there and back from Toronto.
What do you do? Fly 2 hours and have a 4-hour layover?
No, I'm pretty sure. I think it's just more or less like a lot of the bells and whistles.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want a big bag or something, you're going to pay a little extra.
Yeah.
But just like if you want to throw a backpack on, think of how many people would come from across Canada to one of our 420s if we were allowed to do it. Get it sanctioned.
Yeah.
Do it well. I bet you there wouldn't be a hotel room in this city that wouldn't have people in it.
Yeah.
And it would bring millions.
We could
probably.
match Taylor Swift.
I'm like,
she's already sold out all the rooms and everything, but yeah, we could do the same thing.
Think of how good that would be for our economy.
Yes.
You know, and it's like it almost seems like
they already did it before legalization.
Look at
being
Cypress Hill.
filled up and something. Cypress Hill, exactly.
Cypress Hill, we had 100,000 people.
Yep, and they were all had to be somewhere.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and it brought money into the city.
It brought a lot of money into the city.
Yeah,
and that's like that was still an unsanctioned event.
Yeah,
but say if they were to actually give us the permission, give us the land that we need.
Yeah,
and to do it right, promo for 6 months. This city would be just it'd be so much better off.
It's always been known for a 420 event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so.
I mean, just 420 in general. I mean, cannabis in general.
Yeah.
BC has always been,
the place to be.
Yeah, when I was growing up.
Yeah, Toronto.
I
didn't have any 420 events in Toronto when I was growing up, so I didn't even know that they had one out here until we moved out here. So
yeah, me too. It was 6 months after I moved here, though. I was like, what do you mean, the 420?
Yeah, what?
And then I got off the train, and I was walking towards the courtyard at the art gallery, and I walked, just past the building so I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, they're all my people. And the water fountains all bubbled up. And I was like,
I remember that.
these are my people. I'm home.
Too bad the water fountain's not there anymore, right? Because we can do that this year.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was just... It's
amazing.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It's beautiful. I know.
Yeah, I was like, these are my people.
They would bring a bottle of Sunlight detergent and they would squeeze it in there, the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And by the time 420 came, there was bubbles everywhere, just big mounds of bubbles.
But it's like, you know, that it got to the point where it probably would have been kind of a hazard, like being in that close of quarters with people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But imagine they didn't put those sanctions on us.
Yeah.
They were like, here. And there's places that we could do it around here that would have enough room. They're on pavements. They're not messing up the grass.
Trout Lake or one of those places.
No, I'm thinking...
that's a beautiful park, man. It's so big. Like, there's lots of room to be able to do that. People just sit down and have a picnic.
The place
and
right
smoke.
by the SkyTrain by Thornton Park.
Yeah,
and it's
Thornton
like
Park.
a giant parking lot.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it's owned by, but it's privately.
Oh, that's the one where we park. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge.
We could have an event right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could still see it
because
from the
Toronto
SkyTrain.
did that.
Yeah.
Toronto did that for their Karma Cup one year when the cops busted it. They had to go move to another place and they rented a whole parking lot and had it there because I was there.
Well, it was a whole bunch of parking lots. The one I'm thinking of, I think it's on the other side of the SkyTrain.
There's the one that's across from the P&E too.
Yeah.
Right, that's
pretty
a big
too. Yeah.
I remember David Underhill, I think, we used to be there selling on the corner there.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. So, you know, there's lots of places in Vancouver we could do something like that.
And it would just bring so much money into it.
It would.
I don't... Like, he's taking it a little farther than everybody else. Like, at least, you know, they knew we were going to do our protests, whether it be, Cannabis Day or 420 or... Mm-hmm. And, you know, they didn't want to come out and say they supported it. Every time they're going to say, oh, well, they wrecked the grass or something, which was never true, by the way.
And the government has done a good job because in order to get rid of us, this divide and conquer, we are now divided. We have 5 different events happening on one day. Instead of everybody just being together. So now they're going to take us out because now they don't have to send a group of cops to that event. Yeah. They just have to send a few here, a few there, instead of 25, 50 at one event, right?
Well, I mean,
now it's made it easier for them to stop us from doing it.
Look at Cannabis Day last year.
Yeah.
How many would you say? I'd say 60.
50 or 60, yeah, easily.
And, you know, we started really looking at that and got an estimate on the fence, and the fence is worth $75,000 for those.
Wow.
For that
whole area.
Yeah, for that 5 days. I mean, it's a giant place. And then so you add in, all those cops were on at least time and a half.
Yeah.
Double time probably.
And the CSU showed up.
It was probably spent $150,000, $175,000 on stopping our event. And why? What are we doing to hurt people? We were still basically on the east side.
They say we can protest.
Yeah,
we just can't have tables.
You know what's funny is they did the exact same thing to us in Surrey. I don't know, 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, and.
Oh, you mean at the event there?
Yeah. But I mean, we've done 3 or 4 of them there before.
But Dan and I were able to work it out with them. Dan did a really good job.
I agree too.
Yeah.
He asked me because he knows that I've been around this thing for a while now, and I kind of watch and see how people do things, and I figured that was the first time that we interacted with the city of Surrey and the police and stuff like that out there for doing events.
Yeah.
And I think it couldn't have went any better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just couldn't.
He just said, put your stuff away. He told me, we're going to be gone out of here in a half an hour.
Yeah.
He says,
if we don't come back in a half
if
hour,
we don't get another complaint, we won't be back, right? Yeah. So basically he said, behave for half an hour. We're going to be gone. No more complaints. We don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, which was super cool. But I mean, there was times where they wanted us to do things that we weren't willing to. And, Dan was super accepting for most things, but what he didn't accept and which wasn't okay with him, he stood his ground really well.
It was a total shutdown.
Yeah. He's just like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And he asked me later, he said, how do you think that went? I said, I don't think it could have went any better.
No, and if you want to see the video, just go on to Glenn Wells' page. The video's there. I was the one who was filming it that day. So he went off really well.
But there was one guy in the wheelchair. He's just he's yelling and screaming at the cop, and he's yelling stuff that's just and blatantly not true.
And Bruce too.
And so I even stopped him in the middle while he's yelling at the cop. I said, "You're just not telling the truth."
Yeah.
And the one guy looked at me, and he's just kind of like, hey, thanks for that. And he could tell that, I said, I've spent the past half hour reading up regulations and everything for this park.
Yeah.
I know what, I got a pretty good handle on what's going on, and like, you're just not right.
Yeah.
Technically, we are going against a bunch of their rules.
Smoke in the park.
Yeah, technically, we're going against a bunch of their rules, whether it be vending or smoking even. But
even loud music.
It was more or less the fact that we had, I told the cop, and he knew that what we were doing wasn't exactly lawful.
Yeah,
but we were doing it for
a protest.
Yeah,
too.
and the right reasons.
It's a form of our protest.
And I mean, we use those donations to help people. We're not just.
And that's what we're trying to do on Saturday at Art Gallery is a protest.
That's going to be
without tables, so they can't tell us that we can't have tables or tents. We just want a bunch of people with a bunch of weed.
But
bombs,
the thing is, though,
rigs,
this is where things get a little different, though, because I mean, if we get enough people, then those tents just slide right in there. Because I mean,
we can just do it old school, like I've been telling. Have it in your pocket, walk around. You need a gram of weed, $5. Here's a gram, right?
I'm like, if you included every different flavor of all the products I have, I'd have 75 things in my.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Bring the ones that you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Right,
no, I just mean like it's.
You can't offer them what you don't have, so you only offer them what you do, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what you don't have unless you say it, right? So,
I get it.
Yeah.
No, it's just like it's. We need to see everybody down there.
Yeah.
Everybody that
bring your dime bags, bring your joints. Just don't bring a table and tent.
Yeah.
We
just need more bodies, because that was the problem with Cannabis Day, is the fact that we didn't have enough people.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a lot different outcome.
Yeah.
And we didn't stand our ground as much as we needed to that day, because there just wasn't enough of us. The people that were there, like, we just set up all our stuff right outside their fence.
And remember, you can have 30 grams of cannabis on you and the cops can't touch you.
Actually, you can give somebody else, as long as they're...
Yeah, and you can gift to somebody else.
Yeah,
too.
as long as they
called gifting,
are over the age of majority, then you can do that.
Yeah.
So...
And that's up to 30 grams, too, in a day,
correct.
right? Yeah,
that's correct.
Apparently the stores are only allowed to do that, too. But if you went to a different store, they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like the self-checkouts, right?
Yeah.
When you go to the store and it says, if you buy two, they're $1.49 each, but anything over it's $2.50.
Yeah.
So you go to the self-checkout, you scan out two, you close it, you pay, and you scan out two, and you do it again, right? So, there's ways.
You're a sneaky guy, Glenn. You're a sneaky guy. I just learned something about you.
At least nobody else is behind me waiting, right? And it's not a cashier saying, sorry, sir, we can't do that, right? It's me doing it, right? So, I'm going to save some money that way, right?
Smart guy. I like it.
It's a good idea. Well, actually, an employee of the store told me to do that.
That's 9 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, we went past 5 o'clock. I was only going to do an hour, so I'm definitely thank you for helping me because it made the time go by, right?
No, it's
really
totally
hard
cool.
to talk to yourself, right?
I know. I seen the fumble a little bit on the first few words, but you were starting to catch your stride.
You got to get into the mood.
By the time I got in here, you were catching your stride pretty well. So I mean, and
it's much easier when you have somebody to talk to, because then you have conversation, right?
Yeah,
and then we can talk to each other.
Work off each other, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. But everybody just,
where can we get Mad Hatter stuff? Come down here, Maine and Cronulla.
Yeah, right. MadHatterMeds.com.
There you go.
Instagram, Facebook, Mad Hatter Medicinal.
There you go. And then if you want to meet him, come on down and support the CSP. And maybe one day he might be sitting in the window when you come down here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Adam.
All right, man.
Thank you. And next week we'll have Sterling R. Wild from Saskatchewan. Sterling. You want to maybe move that back for me?
Yeah, I can do that.
And maybe you can end it for me, because I'm going to just say goodbye to everybody. And maybe... all of you in your prayers tonight, and your whatever you do, praying.
No, I was actually going to say the same thing. I kind of fumbled on that word too. I'm like,
it's whatever you may do, whatever higher power you have in your heart, in your head, that you ask for favors or things to do. Please help him send some energy towards Neil and give him the strength to get through this cancer.
He's one of the good ones.
Because cancer fucking sucks, and we're going to say fuck cancer right now. Sorry, Annie Barb, because you might be watching.
I should probably apologize that I dropped you myself.
Yeah. But I also want to say, like Neil always says, go out and do. No, I want to say go out and do something nice today.
Have as much fun as you can.
Yeah, and it's someone else might do something nice for someone else. And while you're doing that, have as much fun as you can. We'll see you next week. I'll be back as I'm sitting in for Neil. And I thank you very much for watching and sharing. And cheers. And we'll see you after 420. Take care, everybody. Can you finish that for me, George?